Welcome to this episode of Learning Fusion. In today's episode, we're going to be covering compositing again, but more specifically, I'm going to talk about compositing using the ACES color space and how to set your project up with ACES and composite in the ACES color space. And we're going to be creating this quick, simple little composite of this glitchy little ghost effect here. And all these resources are available for download. So if you click that little link in the description, you can download the footage used for this so you can follow along. But as a reminder, please don't use them for anything other than this training. You cannot use any of this footage or assets I give you for personal or commercial use. So let's roll this intro and let's get into it.
We're learning fusion together. We'll learn 2D stuff and 3D stuff and particle stuff and compositing stuff, deep pixel stuff and tracking stuff, but not other stuff, but some other cool stuff, because we're learning fusion together.
So before I actually jump into our little Learning Fusion episode here, I want to kind of cover some stuff I said the other day about Nuke versus DaVinci, because there seems to be a lot of talk about it in our comments. Now, just know if you have the same amount of experience in Nuke, in DaVinci, or in another dedicated compositing software program like Silhouette by Boris FX, if you have the same amount of experience and training and talent and creativity, you're going to get the same result from all three programs. One is not better than the other when it comes to your final result. It's just how much you know and how you know to manipulate those programs to be able to get that result. Now, I will say when you use something like Nuke or Silhouette, it is specifically designed for compositing. Whereas DaVinci Resolve, compositing is an element within Fusion, and it's primarily designed for editing and color grading. But we can also composite very well in DaVinci Resolve, in Fusion anyway. But in Nuke and Silhouette, the whole program, they're all developed just to composite. So anything they develop, they're developing for compositing, meaning they have nodes that DaVinci doesn't have. So if I need something simple like a light wrap, which you use light wrap on almost anything when you composite, DaVinci doesn't have that simple little light wrap node that I can drag and drop, and I've got light wrap. Whereas Nuke and Silhouette does. I just drag the node on and I'm done, make some adjustments, and I've got my light wrap. In DaVinci, you actually have to create it yourself using multiple nodes. There are some plugins out there that have light wrap that you can use in DaVinci, but they basically create macros using a bunch of other different DaVinci nodes to create the light wrap. So if DaVinci really loved us and they love the fact that we like to composite in their programs, they would develop some of these nodes like light wrap or like a shadow node. So there's a lot of nodes in Nuke and Silhouette that DaVinci doesn't have, and we actually have to work harder at creating those looks. So basically Nuke and Silhouette are easier to use if you know the programs to get the final result, whereas DaVinci just makes you build out your nodes a little more to get that final result. So jumping into this Learning Fusion, we're going to start off with our ACES and project settings. So right now I have everything set up in ACES. So if we look at our project settings here, and I look, you can see I have our color science as ACES CC, our ACES version as 1.2, and so on. So let me cover some of these. So by default, you will probably have your color space in, actually, let me do this first. Let me go to my media pool. And let me drag both this and this in. And let's look at this. So I'm going to go back to our color space here, and I'm going to switch it back to our default DaVinci YRGB. So DaVinci is just my color science here. And if I hit save, we go back, we can see this B-raw footage is just showing all of our B-raw. And our little EXR here is showing our ACES color space for our EXR. So I really want my project set up so it's all working in ACES. One, because seeing this as sRGB under our ACES is really not showing our colors. And of course, B-raw is not going to show our colors, so we do color space transforms. So to be able to set up ACES, I'm going to use my ACES CC. And the difference between ACES CC versus ACES CCT, all it is CCT just adds like a little toe to your gamma. So it changes your shadows up a little bit. you're really not going to see much of a difference. So you can either choose CC or CCT. I just go with CC. As far as your ACES version, I tend to pick whatever I exported my renders as, and I used Blender to render out, and it was using ACES version 1.2 at the time, so I'm using the same version. So if you're using a different version of ACES when you render, just select that version. Now your output transform, well, let's back up. You do not want to add any input transform for ACES, so just leave this as no input transform. And under our output transform, this is going to be kind of up to taste to a point. And let me explain some of this stuff. So when we output transform, we're kind of changing our color here. So if I go ahead and hit save, right now I've got it set to Rec 2020. And if I hit save, you can see it's changing in our ACES color space, our B-raw footage into Rec 2020. And if I go to our little EXR here, you can just see it's now Rec 2020. Now the difference between Rec 2020 and some others is quite drastic. So if I add a gamut node here, so we can just see these color spaces here, and we're just going to look up here. If I look at our little ACES color space, this is our giant ACES color space. And the difference between this ACES and ACES CG, if we go to our process node LUTs in, is right here. So our AP1 is going to use this ACES CG here. If I select ACES AP0 linear, it's going to select this ACES. So I really don't need that much color, and it is going to alter our color quite a bit if I use this giant ACES. So if I use ACES CG, which is pretty common in the FX world, I'm good. Because if I look at where our, say, DaVinci wide gamut is sitting, you can see it's sitting almost in the same spot. DaVinci wide is a little bigger. Same with, say, our Sony Cine. Our Sony Cine is sitting about the same spot. But if I look at our sRGB here, you can see our sRGB is shrunk way, way down. So I really don't want to select sRGB. So I want to stick to a bigger rec, which is Rec 20, because Rec 20 uses an ultra wide, and the closest I can probably get here is this wide gamut RGB. So that's fairly close to the Rec 2020. So let's go back to our little edit page here, and let's look at some of these differences. So if I go back here and I change this from Rec 2020 to, let's say, Rec 709, if I was change it to Rec 709, I would use this BT 1886, but it's going to do a little color shifting. So if I select this Rec 709 and hit save, you can see it just reddened up our image a little too much, and that's really not the color space I need to be in. So if I go back and I select our little Rec 2020 here and hit save, that's more the color space we're in for the EXR I exported out of Blender. So you can just play with this output transform to get the color closest to what you're actually exporting or what you exported out. And then under your process node, AP1 is fine. You can use APO linear. It's really not going to change much. So even if I change this, hit save, you notice it really didn't change my color at all. But just to rein my colors in a little more, I like using this ACES CC AP1, which is my timeline setting. So I'm going to hit save. So there we go. We've got our color space set up for our footage. So let's go ahead and delete that. And we're going to go here and go ahead and create a new Fusion composition. And we're just going to make it 4 seconds long, and 30 frames is good. So there we go. We've got our little Fusion composition going on. And let's go ahead and jump into Fusion. So once we're in Fusion, the first thing we need to do is bring our media in. So if you downloaded the footage, you're going to have these 6 files in there. So we're going to start off with these 3, and what they are is our actress here. We've got our little column that's supposed to be up front. It's a EXR, but it's only 1 frame, but it'll extend across the entire timeline here. And we've got our wall that's in the background. Then we got a couple little fractals and this spirit flame thing here, so we can add it to our little actress. So we're going to drag our wall in because that's going to be in the back. We're going to drag our actress in because she's going to be the next layer. And then our column is going to be our final layer. And these other three we'll bring in later. So the first thing we want to do before we start connecting all these and merging them and compositing them together is we want to take care of this little B-raw here. And we just want to key her out. And we don't need anything super special. So just a delta keyer. And since she's going to be a ghost, I really don't care too much how great the composite is or how great the key is. So we're just going to grab a key here, kind of key it out a little bit. And let's check our little white levels there. And then we're going to go to our matte here. And we're going to clean the foreground up. Way up there. We're going to slam it. We're going to clean our background as well. Then we're going to use our little threshold buttons here to pull more of that out and bring that up. There we go. That's great. Good enough for our ghost. And then what we want to do is create a garbage matte to get rid of the rest of this. So we can just bring in a little polygon here. And we're going to create a little garbage matte around our actress. And we're going to make sure she stays in it. And there we go. That's good enough. We don't even have to animate it. Lovely. So we're just going to take this polygon and connect it into this garbage matte, the gray triangle. That's our garbage matte input. And it's the wrong way. So we're just going to invert it. And there we go. We've got our matte. So let's move that down. We're going to move our column over. So first thing we want to do is grab and merge. We're going to bring our wall to the background. Our actress here to the foreground. We're going to grab one more merge. We can look at what's going on. There we go. We got our actress on top of our wall. We're going to go from this merge to the background, and then from our column here to the foreground. And there we go. We've got our column as well. So now we can come in here and start doing some compositing things. So first thing we want to do is get our actress in the shot. So after our delta keyer, I'm going to add a transform. And I'm just going to move her over wherever I want her to be. And there we go. She's behind the wall. And there's our shot. We got our little ghost peeking out from behind our column there. And the way I work is I like doing things that are faster first, things that are a little more intensive on the computer. I like waiting for the last. That way, if I'm doing something simple as changing my colors here, I don't have to sit and wait for all the effects of our little ghost here to sit there and render just to see what our colors are looking like. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to fix some of these colors here. So on our wall, I'm just going to add a color corrector. And this gamma here, remember when I talked about the difference between CC and CCT? What CCT does is it adds that 2.4 gamma curve to it. And we can actually do that here as well, or a little more if we want. Just remember, if you type in 2.4 here to change your gamma, 2.4, it only goes to 0 to 1. It's going to be something crazy. And if we minus it, it's going to be completely dark. So just keep that in mind. Our numbers here don't correspond like they do in regular gamma. So if you say gamma curve of 2.4, that's not what this is right here. But you can do 0.24. And so the math would be like what, 0.86. So we bring that down. That just put that 2.4 curve on it. And you can see it's a little darker there, but I still want that a little darker because I want it a little moodier. So I'm going to bring it down. Just my gamma. I could use my gain here too and bring our gains down if I wanted to, but I'm not going to mess with our gain too much. And the color's fine for right now. I just want to get how dark I want that footage to be. So I can take this color corrector, Control C, Control V, and just paste it right behind our little column there. So now our column's the same color. I'm going to move that up, move our media out the way. So the next thing I want to do is I want to kind of fix some of this little line stuff going on here. So you can see how sharp this line is, and it just doesn't look too realistic. That should be a little blurrier or have a little halation on it. So we can fix that. And then Fortunately, there's not a single node to stick in there and just blur that single edge up. So we got to do a little work. And again, like I said, that's the difference between like Nuke or Silhouette. There are nodes, so we can just fix that line itself, but we have to kind of build this out here in DaVinci. So the way to do that is we can grab a little matte control node here, and we're going to bring in our column to the background, and we're also going to bring our column to the foreground. So the same one. And then in our foreground here, all I want to do is add a transform, so I can grab a transform and stick it right there. And if we look at our alpha of our little matte control node here, you can see we've got our alpha of our column. And what I want to do is on my matte control, I want to combine my alphas, and then for my combine operation, instead of copy, I want to subtract it. And of course, it made it disappear. But I can go on my transform here and I can change my size. So now you start seeing the edge is peeking out. So I can just adjust my transform here so I can just get that edge over there, because I really don't care too much about the other edge. I just want this edge that's going along our little ghost there. So there we go. We've got a little edge, and that's going to be our matte for our little edge blur there. We just got to fix this little bottom part right here. So we can take in a little garbage matte thing, and we can bring in a rectangle, plug it into our garbage matte there. We can just move this over, get rid of all that. We can come in here and be a little more precise. We can just extend it over. And there we go. It's clean. So now what I want to do is if I go back to my merge, let's look at our colors here. And let's stay zoomed in. If I grab a, say, blur node here, you notice it did blur it up a little bit, but it's blurring everything. We don't want everything blurred yet. We are going to add a little more blur. But I can take my matte control and plug it into this effects input. So now we're only blurring that line. So if I zoom in, you can see we're just blurring that line right there. And I can blur it up as much or as little as I want. I'm going to leave it to like 1.5. That's good, because all I want to do is just break up that little edge. And you can even come in your matte control and blur your matte control up if you want. You can contract it or expand it if you want, and change it how you want it to look. But that's all I want. I just want that little edge, that blurry edge there, so it's not so sharp. And then speaking of blur, I think I'm going to add one more blur both on our background and our little column there. So after our color corrector, I'm going to add another blur, and I just want to unsharpen some of this 3D rendering that's going on. So I'm just going to leave this at 0.5, and then add one more blur on our column, and change this to 0.5 as well. So there we go. It's not so sharp, and it's mixing with our footage a little better. So there we go. So far in our compositing, all we've done is changed our colors of our background in our little column, added a little blur just to mesh it in a little better. So now let's go ahead and start working on our little ghost here. And what we want to do is we want to add some glitches, so our ghost is kind of glitching on herself a little bit, kind of moving weird. And there's a few ways to do that, but I'll show you the way I did it, or I would do it. So first I'm going to go ahead and add a stop motion node. There we go. And I'm going to bring in a merge. If I merge this in, go from our transform into our stop motion node, and from here into our little merge node, we're going to get both of them. But first, before we do that, we actually got to change our opacity of our ghost here. So let's actually disconnect this first. So let's fix this opacity of our ghost. So if we go to our merge here, we can change this blend and just knock that blend down so she's a little more ghostly. There we go. That's good for now. So we've got our ghost kind of see-through in areas. There we go. Awesome ghost. And one other thing before I start connecting all these, let's go ahead and change her color as well. So I'm going to highlight that transform. I'm going to hit this color space so it'll automatically move our stuff over. And I'm just going to slam that saturation down so she's just kind of black and white and has just a tiny bit of color. So there we go. Great. There's our ghost. So now with the stop motion node, again, I'm plugging the stop motion into the foreground there. I'm plugging the stop motion into the foreground there. So now we got a copy of that. And if I play it right now, just with this frame repeat, you can see she's like kind of glitching and moving. But if I go to this merge, I can change this blend as well and bring that down. So again, it's not so prevalent. So now we've got two different files or two different images of our ghost, one glitching, one kind of not glitching. And I can change this up a little more. So I can slam this to say like 10. And now if I play, you can see she's glitching a little more. So we can go to this merge and we can knock this blend down a little more so it's not so much. So there we go. We've got this little glitch thing. Now, if you want it to look like that, that's fine. But what I'm going to do is after my stop motion node, I'm going to hit shift space. And I'm going to add a tween node. And this is where it's going to start getting a little sluggish. But on our tween node, we've got this going in, but we need our original footage there also. So we're just going to bring that in. And I'm going to go to the first frame. And on our tween node here, we're going to see if just our default settings work okay. Because all I want to do is just smooth that glitch out a little bit. I want it to be glitchy, but I want to smooth it out a teeny tiny bit. And that's what that tween node is doing. It's tweening between frames with our stop motion and with our original motion. So if we play that, you can see we're getting a little jitter. So there we go. It's a little jittery. Now it's doing some weird stuff down here with our tween node. So let's find right there. It's doing something weird with our shirt. So we can go in our optical flow in our advanced here, and we can alter this warp count down, and it's going to get rid of that. So if I go up, it's going to try to fix it as much as possible. But if I go down, it's not going to be so prevalent. It's just going to knock our warp count down. And there we go. A little better. So there we go. We've got one. And what we want to do is we want to add one more. So we can just take all this, Control C, Control V. And again, we're going to go from our little color corrector here into our stop motion. Let me move that up so we can see. And from our color corrector into our tween. And then we're going to add one more merge here. We're going to go from our tween into our input there. But on this stop motion, I'm going to change this to, I don't know, maybe 6, just so it's a little altered. So now if we play it back, we've got a little more going on. But again, I got to go here and change our blend mode. And I'm going to change this way down so it's much lower. Let's see how changing that to 20 will make it look. So there we go. We've got our little glitchy ghost. And looking okay. So now what we want to do is we want to bring some of these other assets to kind of spice up our ghost a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to move some of this stuff out of the way, because we're just going to stick this on top of her. And let's go ahead and bring this Fractal 4 in first. And let's look at what we got. We're definitely going to have to trim up our footage so it comes in faster. So we've got this footage and we just want to add it to our little ghost there. So it looks like she's got some little spirit things going on. But if we look, our sizing is off. So the first thing we want to do is we want to resize that. So shift space, resize node, and bam, there we go. Now we're sitting in our size for our project. So let's bring this over. And now One other thing I also want to do is I want to get some track on our little ghost here, because we want to make sure it is, where's my column? We want to make sure all this stuff is tracking on our ghost. So let's go back to our color corrector here, shift space, and we're going to get a tracker node. And actually, let's go after our transform so we have more color information there. We're going to go from our transform into our tracker. And the reason I'm going to my transform is because I want to make sure wherever this location is from my transform. Now, mind you, sometimes this still gets glitchy. So if you have a transform on something and you get your track data and then you move your transform again, it's going to keep that same track data or be odd. So when you reconnect, it's going to be off. You don't know why. But basically, anytime you want to use a tracker, make sure you move all your stuff to where you want it first and then go off your transform to track. And if you happen to start moving stuff over, like, oh, I want her on the other side of the column, just get rid of that track data, delete it all, and disconnect anything from that track data, redo your track, and then reconnect everything so it works correctly. So tracker. So we just want to track something on the center of her. So let's just grab this little thing on our chest there, and we're just going to track that thing and track forward. And there we go. We got a track of our model. We can just disconnect that, throw our tracker off to the side, and we're good. So now let's go back to our fractals. We're going to add a merge node here. And I'm going to bring this into our little merge node. And if I go to our merge node, first thing I want to do on my merge is I want to change the apply mode to screen. So now it's just screened. So now we got that. So a couple other things I want to do is, one, I want to attach this to my model. So after my resize node, I'm going to add a transform. And on my transform, I'm going to go to my center right here, right click, connect to tracker position. So there we go. We've got our little fractals tracked to our model. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure it's only on our model, because we don't want our fractals everywhere. So how do we do that? We've got this great little mask already from our transform. If we look, we've already got a mat of our model. So we really don't have to do any more mat work. So we can just go from our model into the merge effect mask input. And if we look, you can see it's only around our model now. And let's go ahead and I'm just clicking Alt and adding little elbows there, so it's a little cleaner, so you guys can see what's going on. And I'm going to use this again anyway, so I can bring this back out and use it a couple times. So this is just a little elbow of our model coming into our little effects mask, and we're using that mask of our model. So there we go. We've got our fractals in there, and looking cool. There we go. They're on our ghost, and we can go to our merge node here and change our blend up however we want. If you wanted to add colors to it, you could recolor it with a color node after your transform if you wanted to. The only thing I'm probably going to do is maybe add a blur, but I'll leave it right now. That's fine for now. And if you wanted to change some of this coloring up of your actual your merge, you could. So you could go select a different one. If you wanted to select luminosity, you can change your luminosity, but just know it's going to change our ghost as well. But any of these work, they'll do different stuff. So even if I hit multiply, it's just going to multiply on top of it. So if I blend it together, but it's changing the color of our ghost, and we don't want that. So I'm going to leave it on screen for now. Just knock that blend down a little bit, because this is just a tiny effect we want on it. Because we're going to add one more, and we're basically going to do the same thing. So if I grab our other fractal, fractal 3, say, And fractal 3 is at 41 for some weird size. So we're going to resize it. We can just copy this, actually. Control C, Control V, paste our resize. Bam, there we go. We're resized to our little shot there. And again, I'm going to bring in a merge node. And we're going to connect our new little fractals there. So if we look, we've got to go to our fractals and change our timing. So there, we've got our fractals in there. We also want to change this to screen as well. So now those fractals are screened. And again, we want to mask this off. So we can just come from this and use that same little one for our mask right there. And also what we want to do is we want to add a transform after this. And our transform, right click, connect to tracker position. So there we go. We got multiple fractals going on. So in this one, let's go ahead and add a color corrector. We can add some hue, maybe add some bluish to this one, bluish. Then we're going to go here and we're going to change our blend, bring it down a little bit. So there we go. We got some multiple fractals going on our little ghost there. And then we can do one more. So let's go ahead and bring in our final little piece of footage here, which is this spirit flame thing. And let's go ahead and trim this so it's up there and going. There's a little spirit flame we're going to attach to the bottom of our actress. And this one I don't care to resize because it's a different size and I don't want to squish it or change it. We can just add a transform to this, and we're going to add a transform anyway. So let's go ahead and bring in another merge. Input this. And again, we're going to use our same little mask, input it into our merge here. If we look at our shot, we've got our little spirit flame going. And the first thing we need to do is change this to screen. So now it's a screen. And of course, we want to add a transform there. And on this transform, we're going to right click, connect to tracker position. So now it's tracked to the position, but actually, you know what? We don't want this. We don't want that connected. We want that flame kind of going everywhere. So if we look, we want the flame going outside of her as well. But we are going to have to transform this up a little bit so our flame's in the shot how we want it. So after where we connected it, we can actually add another transform node. And on this transform node, we can bring this flame up to wherever we want. So let's go to the bottom, go there. We're going to bring it over so it's kind of covering our little actress there. So now we've got that flame tracked to her, but in a position we want it to. So it looks like that flame is kind of rolling up her. There we go. And of course, we want to go to our little merge here and blend it a little better. So knock it down. This one I want a little stronger. So there we go. We've got our spirit flame going. So now we kind of look like this. Cool. Got an awesome little ghost there with flames going up. But I kind of don't like the speed of those spirit flames. So let's go here and shift space. I'm going to add a time speed on there. And I'm going to change my speed down to 0.75. Let's just look at that. There we go. They're going a little slower, so that's better. So I'm just slowing down the speed of those flames, ramping up there. So after this, it's just kind of to taste what you want to do. You could do tons of stuff. You could add some smoke in the back. You could do whatever you want. But after this is where you do some final color stuff if you need to. So we could add one more little color corrector here after our last node. And we can come in here and do any color correction we want. So if I want to bring that gain down a little bit, make it a little moody, I could. And I actually want to get those shadows down a little more. so our little ghost pops out a little better. So there we go. And then we can even add our little shift space scene focus that we have. There we go. And you can just go to our depth and change our focus here. So we can focus on our little ghost. Change our depth of field a little bit. There we go. We can even go to our depth map and adjust this. Now we can change our focus distance up. Look at our final result there. So there we go. We've got our model kind of in focus. It's a little much. So let's bring this down a little bit. There we go. Then we can add a vignette afterwards. Kind of rein it in. Just change the size up. It's a little much. So I would honestly probably do this in the color grading tab and do all my color grading stuff afterwards. Meaning I would bring it in. First, I got to, I guess, connect this to my media out to be able to see it. Go to my color grading tab and do any color grading in this tab here because it's just a little better, especially when we're working with ACES. So I would do any color grading effects I wanted to do in here. So we'll need film grain, film look, or any color type stuff. Definitely do it in your color grading tab when you're working with ACES, and that just gives you a little more freedom to do any color space transforms you need to afterwards. But there we go. Let's add a little glitchy ghost using compositing in Fusion. So just be creative, and you can pretty much create whatever you want to create and composite whatever you want to composite within Fusion. So I will see you guys in the next episode of Learning Fusion.